Xavier. Xavier.
Open down in my boxes, ASAP, rock in. I handle all of y'all problems. I do damn it now. I'm on top and now with Gucci, Polo, movies, low with your hoe like oh no, she go low and low. I been running around in the six, nigga. Running through the bricks, nigga. Spitting shit bigger than a nigga could be slanging scripts, trying to get the 6 figures. The 6 nigga. Once I get a little bigger, I'ma hit the script, nigga. Got 100 grams of rubber bands, I bag it up and go and hit the script, nigga.
John Gotti, CTM Music Group, baby. Woo! Pow! Yeah, the grind to get the paper, I'm just trying to get rich. We do it for the big face, dead presidents. I got a Lamborghini dream, still got Mercedes tips. And yes, I'm a looking for a lick. You gotta get it how you live in life is like this. And yes, I need 36, a whole fucking brick. Rolling through the city, got my Louis Lowe's on. And I tell these motherfuckers, yeah, I get my smoke on. Streets strong, bust out the bomb. Working all day, flipping bricks by the yard. And you can try it too, but don't quit your day job. Don't sleep each up and make your times real hard. That's why I got all these tattoo scars. Chilling in the titty bars, rolling in the fancy cars. Working out the superstar. Yeah, I look like a model. B-I-O-R. Money in the rubber band, stack it till your cap hurts. Yeah, I got the trade powers, got a real loud pop. I do it hurt in the dark, fucking do it broad day. I got so many toys, AKs, SKs, short range, long range. Red state, no friend. Who am I kidding, motherfucker, crime pays. Yeah, I'm trying to get the paper, I'm just trying to get rich. We do it for the big face, dead presidents. I got a Lamborghini dream, still got Mercedes Benz. And yes, I'm a boss, but I'm looking for a lick. You gotta get it how you live when life is like this. And yes, I need 36, a whole fucking brick. Cutthroat!
But just because I'm not calling the cops in the hospital don't mean I'm not dealing with Buddy Boy. Don't worry about that. At this point in time, leaving a paper trail of my complaints about him could be the dumbest mistake I could make. I know how you AB motherfuckers do. I know. As soon as you understand, it took a minute for him to understand what anemic means, but as soon as he understood black and anemic is when he fucking hit. So I know how you people are. It took him a minute to understand. Like, weak. Oh, he's weak. Okay, I can hit him. You pussy holes. Pussy holes. What are you known for? Sex trafficking. Trafficking yourselves and your brethrens for sex. That's what you're known for. That's what you're known for. The Eliminate Prison Rape Act, that's got you guys' name all over it, bro. You got Kenyan shillings. How you think I got that?
Nothing on my wrist, nothing on my neck, nothing on my fist. It's all on my check. Don't you get the gist? I got the confidence, don't need a brand on my chest. Hey, I know what my value is. Hey, wealthy people don't need jewelry. Hey, look at 21 Savage and Bill Gates. Hey, rap industry got a complex. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. I'm the opposite of Microsoft.
I'm big and hard.
Let that resonate, maybe a little more. I got that lyricism sprinkled with a lot of flow. I made my sauce authentic on a chopping board. Baby, it's spicy, be careful. Don't shake the bottle too much, be gentle. It's kinda high on the Scoville level. Don't burn your tongue, don't get it in your eyes too. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Self-care, yeah, got a lot of that. No food tastes good as having a six-pack. You should cut your snack same way you cut that crack. Then you wouldn't look fat as a Cadillac. Baby, looking like a snack. I can see you did them squats on the squat rack. I don't need a beat, I don't really need a track. You can be my producer with your booty clap. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Baby, keep your pants on, zip tight, locked off. This is not the time for you to rack it up. We be in court, the judge is getting cross. You robbed the bank, baby, you took your mask off. You took 100K and left it at my front door. Thought it was funny, nice joke. Cause you know I bail you out no matter what the cost. I need that flavor, baby, shit, cause I got the sauce. Cause I got the sauce. I said it cause I got the sauce. Shit, cause I got the sauce. Shit, cause I got the sauce.
Didn't think that far ahead, but the joint's still burning. So.
Fully on my hip. Damn, son, I gotta reload it like a gun. Tandem just for fun. They wanna see me with my hands out begging for funds. They ain't gonna see that shit cause I really make runs. They saying that they gotta get the job done. And when my crew come, they ain't gonna say no more in the slum. They gonna be deceased from head to toe. They ain't gonna breathe no more. Ain't gonna see no tree. Ain't no more paradise down here. It's only hell or up. You won't get a chance no more down here. I ain't showing no fear. I gotta ride for my other side, and they gotta ride for me, cause they gotta say that they'll die for me. They gotta shine for me. If I shine on my own, then fuck, they won't lie for me. They won't lie for me. They won't die for me. I'm in this, but haters ain't gonna shine with me. They ain't shining with me because I put them all in the past. I told all these haters cut them off and all to kiss my ass. Haters don't love it, I ball just like Nash, saying that they wanna ball, throwing bins in the trash. I'ma hit it up like fuck it, haters. I gotta see it later, like fucking adding up my stacks with the calculator, saying that they wanna brave something just like braver. I'ma be braver than you, probably be the first heartbreaker. I never broken hearts before, but I just might take you. Shit, boy, I gotta remix this shit like a bitch gotta read this.
Collectively moving higher today. Actually, that sector is showing the biggest boost right now after we heard that Canopy Growth is delaying the launch of its cannabis-infused drinks. The Ontario-based company says the products aren't ready, and it's not clear how long it will take.
Last
we
year.
might get more information when the company releases third-quarter results next month. Shares in Canopy Growth up by 3% to $32.67. Gold is higher by $10, $15.61. Oil is down just off 20 cents, though, $58.32. And we're going to hear from the Bank of Canada on Wednesday. No change in interest rates expected, even though trade prospects have improved this week. Earlier, we saw the signing of the U.S.-China trade deal Phase 1, along with the passage of the USMCA or new NAFTA by the U.S. Senate. Now, truth be told, that deal really isn't all that different from the old deal. Nathan Jansen is senior economist at RBC.
Big picture perspective, this is still a free trade deal, like NAFTA was a free trade deal. The vast majority of tariff rates into the U.S. economy from Canada are zero. Under USMCA, they were zero under NAFTA. So we wouldn't expect big macroeconomic impacts from the signing of that deal.
The Canadian dollar right now is down 1,276.56 cents U.S. All-time highs on Wall Street as well today. The Dow is up by 28. The S&P is higher by 7, and the NASDAQ up by 13. Now, I've been watching shares in Apple maybe the last half hour or so. Modest gain right now, up by $1.18, $3.16.42. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, also known as Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld, has signed a deal with Apple TV+. I'm Chris McCusker.
She seems like an Apple person. I can see that. That makes
winning
sense.
the Lotto Max jackpot changed your weekend of gardening. Let's ask Susan.
Forget measly gardens. I grow my own forest.
Okay, but Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $50 million, plus an estimated 2 Max Millions. As your dream coach, I say keep growing.
Ooh, with the waterfalls, luxury tree houses for my friends, and instead of walking, we'll zip line everywhere.
Zipline dreams are my favorite. Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $50 million, plus an estimated 2 Max Millions. With draws Tuesdays and Fridays, you can dream to the max.
At Pizza Nova, there's something for every pizza lover. Create your own masterpiece with some of our vegan or vegetarian options that include our dairy-free mozzarella, our gluten-free multigrain dough, and our gourmet vegetarian toppings. Ciao, I'm Dominic Trimucci, and I invite you to taste the difference.
You'll hear it here
First, breaking news when it happens.
Yeah. 7 hours later.
Taking a look at some regional weather conditions in Milton right now. A few clouds, -9. Pickering, sunshine, -10. It's sunny, -12 in Vaughan right now. In Mississauga, partly cloudy sky, it's -11. Hamilton, a few clouds, and -8. Right now in downtown Toronto, a sunny sky, -8. Feels like -13. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. It's 2 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Steve Roberts and Sarah Parrott.
Good afternoon. This is Friday, the 17th of January.
Good afternoon. Here's what's making news this hour.
It's the news that 1,500 people have been waiting so long to hear. The date is set for tenants to finally move back home to 650 Parliament.
As Canada pushes for answers, Prime Minister Justin
I wonder
Trudeau
about
announces a
that for for like a month. You ain't mentioned
financial
it.
compensation for families of the Canadians killed after Iran shot down a Ukrainian passenger jet. A firefighter's been charged with dangerous driving after an 11-year-old girl was hit by a fire truck last month, and as of today, she's still in hospital.
He got charged, eh? Wow, that's
to
interesting.
talk about the new condo he has.
It's got to be bad because they've got the legal right away in this
You
province.
guys love each other here. It's beautiful. Will include affordable units. The Toronto Raptors hoping to have Fred VanVleet in the lineup tonight. It is Alexander Georgiev in the Maple Leafs' future. Sports at 15.
All-time highs on Bay and Wall Street to end the week, and a new streaming service is coming, but it won't be available in Canada right away. Business at 26. 680 News Time, 2:01.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones, and with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports, here's Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by Alterna Savings. Heading westbound on the 401, we still have this problem approaching Islington and the Collectors. The left lane is blocked because of a collision. You'll find a slow drive on the westbound 401. We have delays from the 404 to Avenue Road, alternately Express and Collectors. Then it's busy from Dufferin to the 400 in the Express, but jam solid approaching the 400 to Islington in the Collector lanes. After that, not too bad heading into Mississauga, typically busy approaching here Ontario and the Collectors over to Mavis. Southbound on the 400 approaching Teston, the left lane is closed for construction, but only a minor delay as you approach that construction. Then after that, it's heavy southbound 400 from Shepherd onto the westbound 401 ramp. Eastbound on the 401, delays from Winston Churchill to Mavis. Also a slow drive from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. Heads up on a ramp closure. The eastbound Dairy ramp to the northbound 427, that's now closed off. MTO tells me it's because of damage to the sound barrier. So definitely bear that in mind. If you're heading northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, that's slow from Don Mills to north of Lawrence, and a heavy drive westbound on the Gardner from the DVP to west of Jameson. In town, last we heard from traffic spotters, eastbound on Steeles approaching Yonge, all lanes were blocked with a collision. Motorists were using the shoulder to get around, and that was causing a delay from east of Bathurst. Any updates on that appreciated at star 680. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alterna Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alterna.ca to book an appointment. Alterna Savings, discover the good in banking. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
We started out with the coldest morning so far this winter, but at least we've got lots of sunshine. Rising
Minus
temperatures
21
overnight. Our guaranteed high today just -7. We get into the snow beginning early tomorrow morning. For today, the guaranteed high just -7.
Right now in downtown Toronto, it's sunny, -8. It feels like -13. 680 News Time, 2:03.
Breaking news from 650 Parliament this afternoon. Residents displaced by that massive fire at that high-rise now know when they'll be able to finally go home.
680's Mark Douglas joins us live from outside the building with the news that residents have long been waiting for. Mark.
18 months they've been waiting to hear this. 1,500 people left homeless, but that's about to come to an end.
The anticipated reoccupancy of 650 Parliament. It's been a long time coming. The initial day.
Everybody's going to have missing shit.
To return looks like it's going to be March 2nd.
And that's Danny Roth, spokesperson for the landlord company, Wellesley Parliament Square property. The move-in, starting again March 2nd, is going to be staggered. People can move back home 2 floors at a time over a span of 11 weeks. Now, Roth says aside from some cosmetic work that might still need to be done by March, and tenants are going to find their building fully functional, clean, and with new paint. It was back in August of 2018 when a 6-alarm electrical fire made this building unfit for occupancy. When it reopens again, rent is still going to be set at the August 2018 prices. And Roth says regardless of what day of the month a tenant moves back in, they will not have to pay rent until the first day of the next month. And again, the move back in for the move date to come back to 650 Parliament has been set for March 2nd of this year. Reporting live outside 650 Parliament, I'm Mark Douglas.
You're listening to All News Radio. This is 680 News. The Trudeau government now offering financial payments and other assistance to the families of the Canadian victims of the Ukrainian passenger plane that was shot down in Iran.
Canada. The law says one thing, they do whatever they want.
With details.
Landlords are responsible to get you somewhere to live if you're paying rent. It doesn't matter what happened to the building. They have to put you somewhere, and they didn't.
To the families of the 57 Canadian
never
citizens
did.
and 29 permanent
This
residents
happened over and over.
killed.
These giant high-rises
The payment is to help
exploded.
with funeral and travel costs costs, but full compensation should come from the Iranian regime.
They can't wait weeks. They need support now.
The government is also providing families with free legal advice and added supports to organize the estates and affairs of their lost loved ones. Meanwhile, Canada's defense minister is in the Middle East, and our foreign affairs minister sat down with his Iranian counterpart to push the need for a complete investigation. At this time, Trudeau refuses to say if Canada will place further sanctions on Iran.
Our focus right now is on supporting the families.
The remains of some of the victims will start arriving back in Canada in the coming days. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
680 News Time, 2:06. Toronto police have laid charges against a Toronto firefighter after a serious crash last month in the St. Clair and Oakwood area. 680 Stuart McGinn joins us live with the details. Stuart.
Yes, Sarah, such a sad story to hear. A Toronto police spokesperson, Megan Gray, says to make matters worse.
As of today, she is still in hospital.
We've only been told the 11-year-old girl's injuries were considered serious but not life-threatening after she was hit by the fire truck. But now a firefighter who's been with the force for 22 years is being held accountable.
The firefighter was charged with 1 count of careless driving causing bodily harm and 1 count of past stopped vehicle at crossover.
It's believed the fire truck with its lights and sirens activated hit the girl as it was veering around that stopped vehicle on Oakwood Avenue just south of St. Clair last month. The firefighter will appear in court next month, but he does remain on active duty. Meanwhile, Toronto's fire chief Matthew Pegg issuing a statement today saying his thoughts are with the girl and her family. Reporting live, Stuart McGinn, 680 News. 680 News Time, 2:07. Well, he certainly has many titles: singer, songwriter, rapper, even record producer. But now you can add condo designer to that list. Pharrell Williams is in Toronto today discussing a new project, a residential building that is going to be going up in Midtown. Our Momin Qureshi joining us live from City Hall with more details about the condo. And Momin, what is going to make this building a lot different from some of the others out there?
There are certainly a few things, Steve, but the biggest thing that really kind of was a little bit of a surprise to us today was the fact that they announced that this isn't just going to be a luxury building, that they're going to have it as a mixed-use building. There's 3 buildings going up. One is going to be rental only, and one is going to have affordable housing units. I asked Pharrell directly why that was important to him.
It's necessary. It's the world that we're in right now. It's where things are. And if you're not thinking about a progressive community, then it's exclusion, not inclusion.
He says that he actually doesn't know too much about the young Eglinton area. He was pretty honest about that, but he says the idea to be building something that's going to be a permanent fixture in the city is something that he's really pumped about.
And I never dreamt that I would ever get a chance to participate in the uptick, the spirit, the morale that's in this city that you feel as soon as you land. You know, my ears might have been stinging from the cold, but like my heart was warm because you guys love each other here. It's beautiful.
But it's still going to be a while before we see this project completed. They break ground at the end of the summer, and then it'll be another 3 years after that to build it. Reporting live, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Well, you can call it a right-off winter weekend. Lots of snow gearing up to hit the GTA. Our meteorologist Jill Taylor has a rundown on how the system will move through the region. So it starts 7 o'clock in the morning, stays with us pretty much all day into the evening, those rising temperatures. And then on the back end of this storm system, we get into some lake effect snow, some more flurries for Sunday, and falling temperatures again for Sunday afternoon. As far as totals are concerned, Toronto is in for roughly 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, while areas north and east of the city could get up to 20 centimeters.
And, of course, make sure you listen to 680 News all weekend long for all your traffic and weather information on the ones throughout the weekend. Coming up in 30 seconds, we will have a check on your city's streets, and it looks like there will be some movement, a little bit of movement for gas tonight.
680 News Time, 2:09.
It's Brian Bernard. This weather report coming from just outside my house in deep snow. And it's
10 minutes in, I'm already all
It looks
fucked
like
up.
I'm the only one outside, except for my next door neighbor, Gary, that's Subaru, and that other neighbor is Subaru. Wow, so many Subarus. Must be
symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Copy, Brian?
Thank you, Gary.
Bring on winter in a Subaru. Hurry in for great rates from 0.99% at your Ontario Subaru dealer.
And taking a look right now at your city streets, we have got a couple of problems to tell you about. Westbound Steeles down to a single lane at Kennedy for construction, and it's pretty jammed up right now from Midland. And if you're out in Whitby this afternoon, keep in mind that eastbound Taunton now pretty heavy from Brock Street to Garden, and that's all because of a crash. Now the 680 News gas price update and process. Price of gas should go up a penny at midnight tonight, averaging $1.15.9.
680 News Time, 2:10. Some live to ski.
I thought it was 115.9.
Ski to live.
Introducing Bluemont, Blue Mountain Chalet living on 60-foot executive lots. Steps from the mountain. A lifetime of memories awaits you and your family. Chalets from $890,000. For more information or directions to our sales office, visit Fremont.com. Do you consider traffic me time?
I mean, isn't it?
Was your last sandcastle made of snow?
It was mostly ice.
Do you think Puerto Plata is an appetizer?
I like it with salsa.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant, and I think you could use our vacation intervention promo.
Vacation?
Save up to $1,000 per couple on sound packages by going to transat.com or call your Marla travel professional. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
City News Time, 2:11.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones and with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports. Here's Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Problems have cleared. Westbound on the 401 approaching Islington and the Collectors. That collision's gone, but it's a heavy drive westbound on the 401. Delays from the 404 in the Express and from Bayview in the Collectors over to Avenue Road. Then it's heavy from Dufferin to the 400 in the Express, but really jammed from approaching the 400 to Islington in the Collector lanes. Heading into Mississauga, a slow drive westbound 401 as you approach here Ontario and the Collectors to west of Mavis. Southbound on the 400 approaching Teston, the left lane is closed for construction, just a minor delay. And then after that, southbound 400 is heavy from Shepherd onto the westbound 401 ramp. Taking the southbound 404, just a bit of a delay approaching the 401 ramps. Looks good on the southbound Don Valley Parkway. Westbound on the Gardner, that's heavy from the DVP to west of Strawn. And delays are building on the westbound QEW from approaching Dixie to west of Cawthra. Slows again from Ford Drive to about Trafalgar Road. Northbound on the 427, it's lightly traveled, but there is a ramp closure. Eastbound Derry, the ramp to the northbound 427, that's closed. It's because of damage to the sound barrier. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, that's filling in from Bayview Bloor to north of Lawrence. And the eastbound 401 is backed up from Winston Churchill to Mavis. Another delay from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. Right. Also getting busy eastbound 401 as you head through Salem. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year. That's giving you more time for the things that matter most to you. Visit 407etr.com. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Sunny but cold for us today. Snow moves in tomorrow. Our guaranteed high today just -7. We'll have rising temperatures overnight and then windy with snow beginning around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. A gusty east wind, 10 to 15 centimeters for Toronto, up to 20 for the North GTA. For today, the guaranteed high just -7.
Sunny sky in downtown Toronto. It's -8, feeling like -13. At Pearson Airport, it's partly cloudy and -9, wind chill of -16. 680 News Time, 2:13.
Time now for the Scotia iTrade Market Minute. Let's check in at the Business Center where it has been another good day. Chris McCusker?
You are correct. The TSX has hit an all-time high every single day this week. Right now it's up by 76, 17,560. We've got records on Wall Street as well. The Dow higher by 24, the S&P up by 8, and the Nasdaq higher by 13. Gold is higher by $10, $15.60. Oil going the other way, down 13 cents, 58.38 a barrel, and the Canadian dollar off by 15/100ths. 76.53 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
It's cold, dark. Last night's snowfall turned your car into a snowbank. Nissan knows winter can be harsh, but you are a winter warrior. So you dig, you scrape, and
oh, this isn't even my car.
Right now, during the Winter Warrior sales event at Nissan, drive home a Rogue, Qashqai, or Kicks, or get up to $6,000 standard rate finance cash on other select models. Now until January 31st. Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. Conditions apply.
Why shop the box stores for a new garage door when you've got Dodds Garage Doors servicing you and the GTA for over 60 years? Free shop at home, well-priced doors and openers, and Dodds exclusive Platinum Series doors and other premium brands like CHI overhead doors. Contact Dodds now for a quote at DoddsDoors.com. Dodds, D-O-D-D-S. Remember, no one does it better than Dodds does. No one.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Sunny and -8 downtown, feeling like -13 with the wind. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Steve Roberts.
And I'm Sarah Parrots. Here are the top stories this hour.
Well, residents displaced by that fire at 650 Parliament back in 2018 now know when they'll be able to go home. Building management has announced it'll happen starting on March the 2nd, 2 floors at a time over the next 11 weeks. Canada providing some financial assistance to families of the victims of that plane that was downed by the military in Iran as they wait for full compensation from the Iranian regime. And a Toronto firefighter with 22 years on the job has been charged now in connection with a pedestrian collision near Oakwood and St. Clair. An 11-year-old girl still in hospital. Now time for 680 Sports, and from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's Alex Xero. Alex?
Steve, tonight the Toronto Raptors are chasing a 7th straight win over the Washington Wizards when the two clash at Scotiabank Arena. Fred VanVleet is questionable. He has missed 4 in a row with a right hamstring issue. Eric Smith and Paul Jones will have the call at 7 on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Well, the New York Rangers right now are carrying 3 goaltenders, but for how long? Whispers have the Maple Leafs interested in Alexander Georgiev, but what will it take to get a deal done? Here's Ian Tulloch on Leafs Hour.
Are you including picks in this deal? Are you including roster players? And if it's just solely to address the backup position, I don't think that would be the case. So if they pulled the trigger on a trade like this, I'd imagine it's because they see Georgiev potentially as a starter down the line.
Maple Leafs host the Blackhawks tomorrow, their final game before the All-Star break. Colorado Rockies announcing they're retiring Larry Walker's number 33. Ceremony will take place April 19th. Blue Jays bring in a little infield depth today with the minor league signing of Ruben Tejada. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Are you struggling to lose weight? At the Bernstein Diet and Health Clinics, we've been helping people lose weight and feel great for over 40 years. And we can help you lose up to 20 pounds per month without exercise or diet pills. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds, 50 pounds, or more, our team of nurses and doctors will ensure that your weight loss is healthy and long-lasting. So stop struggling and start succeeding. Call us today at 1-888-DRB-DIET or visit drbdiet.com to learn more.
New York, New York. The city's so nice they named it twice. But they should have named it 5 times for all its 5 boroughs. Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. Explore all 5. So much to see with so many non-stop flights a day on Porter Airlines. Just name your time and book at flyporter.com/NY. Porter, flying refined.
680 News Time, 2:18.
This just into 680 News from Scarborough this afternoon. A boy has been taken to hospital after a house fire in the area of Mammoth Hall Trail in Malvern. Now, Toronto fire crews say the boy was found on the 2nd floor of a home there. The fire has been knocked down, but crews are still on scene assessing the area. Stay with 680 News for more on this developing story. Well, the city of St. John's is warning residents of that community to prepare emergency kits with enough supplies to last at least 72 hours as they continue to deal with a massive blizzard there. They are preparing, by the way, to be snowed in with anywhere between 40 and 75 centimeters of snow. That's over 2 feet of snow. The Avalon and Bonavista Vista peninsulas will see the most snowfall, strong winds as well, even whiteout conditions. All flights scheduled throughout the day have been canceled over at St. John's International Airport as a result. And a court in Germany has ordered a pet owner to pay out some damages after a chicken was killed. Now, the chicken reportedly mauled to death by a dog back in 2017. The court heard, though, that the chicken was a special one. It received 10 hours of acting training and had earned 3-figure daily fees for its acting gigs. Hey, not bad. And the owner of the dog has been ordered now to pay 615 euros in damages because the hen was trained. And hey, that hen had TV experience. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have, we'll have a look at
Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
That chicken was an actor?
That chicken was an actor. I don't even know what the chicken's name was, but...
I I have no response for that.
You don't need a response.
Now it's going to be in a KFC commercial.
680 News Time, 220.
When it comes to building brand awareness, Nick Donato, President and CEO of Liberty Entertainment Group, advertises on 680 News to help spread the word.
Liberty Entertainment Group runs multiple restaurants and entertainment venues throughout Toronto. When we were awarded the Gambaleroso Best Restaurant Opening in the World for Don Alfonso 1890, it was big international news. And what better way to get the news out to Toronto than going to 680 News?
And the marketing experts at 680 News are always on hand for professional guidance.
The team at 680 News understood what we wanted to accomplish and eloquently drafted up some commercials that really got the message out for us. Don Alfonso had arrived in Toronto. Our marketing campaign on 680 News was an overwhelming success.
And the secret of that success?
Consistency on message and frequency. So being on 680 News for a long period of time, delivering the message of our Michelin chef at Don Alfonso really worked. 680 News is the way to go.
Get 680 News working for you. Call 680 News Advertising at 416-935-NEWS.
680 News Time, 221.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones. And with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports, how are things looking out there? The look on your face, Carrie, doesn't say good things.
Well, you know what, Steve? We had an earlier problem, West 401 approaching Islington, that recently cleared. And now we have a new problem, East 401. Guess where it is?
Same spot.
Same spot, but on the eastbound side. There you go. This report is brought to you by TSC. So eastbound on the 401, just east of Islington in the Express, the right lane is now blocked with a collision. It's already heavy on the eastbound 401 from Winston Churchill to Mavis, and then delays from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collector. So it's a little bit heavier in those express lanes east of Kipling. That's where we have that issue. And then heading into the Durham region, a slow go as you head through Salem Road. Now off the highways in Pickering, we have a problem southbound on Brock Road at the 401. Looks like the right lane is now blocked with a collision. Traffic spotters near the scene say a pedestrian has been struck. The emergency crews are there, but southbound Brock Road is getting jammed up as you approach the 401, and you'll find a lineup building on the eastbound 401 ramp to Brock Road. Westbound on the 401, as mentioned, off the top, approaching Islington and the Collectors. We had some earlier problems there. So it's a slow go across the city. Westbound 401, delays from the 404 to Avenue Road, alternately Express and Collectors. Then it's busy from the Allen to the 400 and the Express, but slow going from Allen all the way towards Islington in the Collector lanes. Southbound on the 404 Don Valley Parkway, just a bit busy as you're approaching the 401 ramps. If you're taking the southbound 400, approaching Teston, the left lane is closed for construction. Then it's very heavy from approaching Shepherd onto the westbound 401 ramp. Just a minor delay through that construction zone. And an update, northbound 427. The eastbound Dairy ramp to northbound 427 has reopened, but now the westbound Rexdale ramp to the northbound 427 has been closed. That's all for emergency construction. Treat yourself to the IT Cosmetics It's Your New Year Blow-Away 4-piece collection featuring the Lash Blowout Mascara. Save big at TSC tomorrow. Shop tsc.ca. And now with the extended forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Sunny but cold today. Snow moves in tomorrow with rising temperatures. The guaranteed high today just -7. We'll stay near -7 this evening, and then rising temperatures overnight. For tomorrow, we get into that snow beginning around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Lots of blowing snow with the gusty wind, 10 to 15 centimeters for Toronto, but more to the north. Rain may mix in around 6 o'clock Saturday night as the temperature rises to +2. And then for Sunday, mainly cloudy, windy flurries and falling temperatures. For today, the guaranteed high, just -7.
Right now in downtown Toronto, it's mostly sunny, -7. It feels more like -11 in the wind at Pearson Airport. Partly cloudy sky, it's -9, a wind chill of -16.
Well, coming up at the bottom of the hour, residents that were displaced by that fire at 650 Parliament about 18 months ago now know when they'll be able to return home. Our Mark Douglas is outside the building with details coming up. Also following up on some breaking news, where a boy has been taken to hospital after a house fire in the area of Mammoth Hall Trail and Malvern in Scarborough. Toronto fire crews remain on scene.
680 News Time, 224.
Some things just don't fit.
like a car that doesn't suit your lifestyle. That's why Toyota offers the fun-to-drive Corolla with available winter features like heated seats and heated side mirrors. Find the Toyota that's right for you. Lease the 2020 Corolla L for as low as $68 weekly at 2.99% APR for 48 months with $0 down, or finance at 0.49% APR for 36 months. Visit your local Ontario Toyota dealer or shoptoyota.ca. Some conditions apply.
At 680 News, we know weather. And we guarantee it. If we're off by more than 3 degrees, we'll announce a lucky winner of our growing cash jackpot.
Now, get more chances to win each month and vacation better with Sunwing.
Enter in January for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 at the Rio Palace, Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
Enjoy beautiful coastal views, multiple swim-up bars, and access to themed parties at the neighboring Rio Resort.
Enter the 680 News weather guarantee with Sunwing
And Rio Hotels and Resorts
at 680news.com.
Trend alert for the new year? Sleep. It's so hot right now. And the best part, it looks good on everyone. Can't say that about bangs.
Sleep better this year with Sleep Country's year-end model sale. Get amazing prices on select brand new beds in 2019 styles, colors, and fabrics, and our sleep experts will match you to your best sleep. Plus, get a Hot by Sealy Eurotop Queen mattress with extra back support for just $4.89. Hurry in store or online. It's on now. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
Let's go keto.
Are you watching the game?
No, I just ordered pizza.
Keto pizza?
Yeah, brand new low-carb crust from Pizza.
That sounds good. But why are you cheering?
It's guaranteed delivery in under 40 minutes, and it's almost here.
You ordered for me too, right?
Of course. You know I'm a team player.
Let's go keto! New low-carb keto crust pizza. Have your pizza and eat it too. Only at Pizza.
At 6, 7, 11, 11, order pizza.ca.
680 News time, 2:26.
Time now for the 680 News Business Report, live to the Business Center with Chris McCusker. Chris, your friends at Boeing are really not having a good one this week.
No, this stock is in the spotlight again. There are reports today. A new test on the MAX 737 has uncovered another software issue. Now, this could delay the return of the plane, which of course has been grounded for almost a year. The airplane maker is now working with the FAA to fix the issue. Little too late to save the damage, at least for today. Shares in Boeing down by 2.2% at $324.44. So that stock obviously a weight on Wall Street. We still saw all-time highs, though. Modest gains right now. The Dow is up by 23, the S&P up by 8, the Nasdaq higher by 11. Another stock of note in the U.S. today, shares in Comcast hit an all-time high. This comes after the unveiling of NBC Universal's Peacock streaming service, which, by the way, won't be available in Canada, at least not right away. Comcast holds a majority stake in NBC. That stock up by 1% right now, going as high as $47.74. An all-time high on Bay Street as well. The TSX is up 71 points, 17,555. And right now, it is the best performer in North America on a percentage basis, higher by 0.4%. Bank of Canada set to have an interest rate announcement next week. Really, no one's expecting any changes at this meeting. The USMCA, though, did clear another hurdle earlier this week. Still needs to be voted on by Canadian MPs. That will happen towards the end of this month. The Canadian dollar right now is down by 1,500, 76.53 cents US. Oil up by 5 cents, 58.47. Some lackluster GDP data out of China today. And then gold right now higher by $10 to $15.60. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
Looking to sell your home? I'm Scott McGilvery. I've worked in Toronto for years, and I know that your home needs the best marketing to create the most demand. Contact Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West and start packing. Go to getleo.com today.
The winter sales event is on at Mercedes-Benz Durham with exclusive offers on 2020 models. Lease a 2020 GLC 300 4MATIC SUV equipped with premium and sport package from $696 per month with $0 down. Or find special savings on all demo models. And existing Mercedes-Benz customers receive an additional 1% lease or finance rate reduction. Mercedes-Benz Durham, 2019 Star Dealer, 20 minutes east of the DVP.
Part of the Zakin Auto Group.
Hey, Toronto, Scott McGilvery here. Need to sell your home on time? Frank Leo and Associates of RE/MAX West spends millions of dollars in marketing to sell on your deadline at a price you agree to, or he will buy it. Go to getleo.com and start packing.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Queen Smith MBA in Toronto. Earn your MBA from Queen Smith School of Business right here in Toronto. Find out more at smithmbaintoronto.com.
In Vancouver today, some snow mixed in with rain and 3 degrees. New York City, sunny and -1. Right now in downtown Toronto, we got plenty of sunshine. Temperature of -8, feeling like -13 when you factor in that wind. The News Watch never stops. 680 News, we are live 24/7. I'm Steve Roberts. Have yourself a great weekend. It's 2:30.
#1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Sledgena Tominzik and James Monroe.
Good afternoon. This is Friday, the 17th of January.
Here's what's making news right now. It's been almost 18 months since a fire forced 1,500 people from their apartments at 650 Parliament, but the date they can start moving back home has finally been announced.
A house fire on Malvern north of Shepherd has sent a boy to hospital.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his government will give $25,000 to families of each of the Canadians who were killed when Iran shot down a Ukrainian passenger jet.
A Toronto firefighter's been charged after a scary crash last month involving a fire truck and an 11-year-old girl. Raptors Wizards tonight from Scotiabank Arena. Toronto eyeing back-to-back wins. Leafs prepping for Chicago's visit tomorrow. Sports at 45.
A celebrated actress is joining Apple's streaming service. North American markets once again looking at record closing highs. Dow by 31. TSX higher by 69. Business at 56. 680 News Time 231.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Brunskis. This report is brought to you by Audi Queensway. Eastbound on the 401, east of Islington and the Express. The right lane is blocked with a collision. It's a slow-go eastbound 401. Delays from Winston Churchill to Mavis. Then it's heavy approaching the 427 to east of Islington in the Express. After that, eastbound 401, it's a slow-go into the Durham region from Westney to east of Salem. But be careful if you're taking the eastbound 401 ramp to Brock Road. At the very end of the ramp, the right turn lane is closed. It's all for a collision investigation. Southbound on Brock Road at the 401, the right lane is blocked as well, so it's heavy southbound Brock Road as you approach the 401. Southbound on the 400, approaching Teston, the left lane is blocked because of construction. Just a minor delay there, but it's very heavy beyond that from south of Finch onto the 401 ramps. Westbound on the Gardner, expect delays from the DVP to west of Strawn. Delays are building westbound QEW from the 427 to west of Huron, Ontario. Slows again, Ford Drive to Trafalgar Road. Northbound 427, keep in mind the westbound Rexdale ramp to northbound 427, that's closed. It's all for emergency construction. Taking the northbound Don Valley Parkway, that's busy from Bayview Bloor to north of Lawrence. Take winter by storm. Enjoy a $5,000 Audi Quattro credit on a 2019 Q7 and a complimentary maintenance package. Now at AudiQueensway.ca. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
We started out with the coldest morning so far this winter, but at least we've got lots of sunshine. Rising temperatures overnight. Our guaranteed high today, just -7. We get into the snow beginning early tomorrow morning. For today, the guaranteed high, just -7.
Mix of sun and cloud in downtown Toronto, -9, and it feels like -16. 680 News Time 2:33.
We have breaking news from St. Jamestown, where residents displaced by a fire in 2018 now have their long-awaited move back in date.
680's Mark Douglas is at the scene at 650 Parliament and joins us live with the latest. Mark.
And James, this building will finally be ready for moving back home starting March 2nd. And 650 Parliament Street will be fit to live in.
The building will be fully functional. The building will be safe. All life safety systems will have been tested, secured. We will have all the necessary permits.
And that's Danny Roth, spokesperson for Wellesley Parliament Square property, the landlord. He says there's fresh paint in the halls and some apartments will have some new finishes in the kitchen or the bathroom. Roughly 1,500 residents were forced into shelters, hotels, or a family member's spare bedroom after a 6-alarm electrical fire back in August of 2018. So when they start coming home on March 2nd, their rent is going to be set at the prices from back then. Now, the move-in is going to be staggered, only 2 floors at a time, starting with the top floors down. Residents need to contact the property office to reserve their particular day and time to move. The whole process is expected to take 11 weeks. But again, the move-in date for 650 Parliament has been set for
March 2nd. Reporting live from that address, I'm Mark Douglas.
680 News Time, 2:34. We have breaking news from Malvern, where a boy has been taken to hospital after he was pulled from a house fire near Markham Road and McLevin. Toronto Fire says they were called to the home on Mammoth Hall Trail around 1:30 this afternoon. The boy was found on the second floor of the home with serious injuries. Emergency crews have not released the boy's age, but say his injuries are not life-threatening. The fire has since been knocked down. Crews remain at the scene for the investigation. Stay with 680 News for the latest on this story as it becomes available.
680 News Time, 2:35. Canada is offering financial assistance to families of the victims of the Ukrainian passenger jet that was shot down by the Iranian military. Here's 680's parliamentary reporter, Cormac McSweeney.
The Prime Minister has unveiled a package of support in the wake of this national tragedy, including financial compensation.
We'll give families of the victims who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents $25,000 per victim to assist with their immediate needs.
Those needs include funerals and travel costs, although Trudeau stresses Iran must still compensate these families because the regime bears full responsibility. The government is also offering families free legal advice, and the Prime Minister says consular work is still underway to bring the remains of their loved ones back home.
There have been no Canadians returned to Canada at this point, but we are expecting the first ones to come back in the coming days.
Meanwhile, our Foreign Affairs Minister met with his Iranian counterpart to push the need for a thorough investigation. The Prime Minister refused to discuss potential consequences for Iran, saying right now his focus is on the families. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
680 News Time, 2:36. The one-day walkout for public elementary school teachers in Toronto and York region is happening on Monday. The union representing Ontario's elementary teachers says the province has had ample time to return to contract talks, but have chosen not to do so. EDFA will be holding a second walkout at 4 boards outside the GTA on Tuesday, and will hold a third rotating strike in 3 other boards in London and Northern Ontario on Wednesday. In a release, Education Minister Stephen Lecce says it's unacceptable that EDFA is ramping up strike action and making families across the province scramble for childcare. He says he will continue to focus on reaching voluntary agreements with the unions.
680 News Time, 2:37. Charges have been laid in a collision last month that saw an 11-year-old girl hit by a fire truck. Here's 680's Stuart McGinn.
This happened on the little girl's walk home from school last month on December 16th, just south of St. Clair on Oakwood Avenue. A fire truck was coming through the neighborhood responding to an emergency call at the time with its sirens on and lights flashing. And that's when Toronto Police spokesperson Megan Gray tells me that crash happened.
As the fire truck approached Rosemount Avenue at the pedestrian crossover, an 11-year-old girl was crossing west across Oakwood Avenue, and she was struck by the fire truck.
The girl suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries, but now more than a month later, she's still in hospital, and Toronto Police have now charged the firefighter that was behind the wheel. The 22-year member of the service is facing 1 count of careless driving causing bodily harm and another of passing a stopped vehicle at a crossover. According to the city, he is still on active duty. Toronto Fire has also launched an internal investigation. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time, 2:38. We're learning more about a condo project in Toronto that's being headed in part by a big name in music.
You know Pharrell. The Grammy Award winner is part of a group that's designing a brand new condo complex called Untitled. The many things that make it unique is the fact that it's not just luxury units. It includes a rental building and affordable housing units, which Pharrell says is important.
Because it's not a community if you don't include everyone, if we're not considering that.
He admits not knowing much about the Yonge and Eglinton area where the buildings will go, but he says being part of the city spirit is exciting.
The prospect of being a part of this community and doing something that is inclusive is beautiful. It feels like the night the Raptors won.
The buildings will be ready in about 4 years. I'm Alman Qureshi.
Everything's 4 years.
680 News Time, 2:38. Testimony in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial is set to begin next week. With jury selection now complete, the lawyers and judge halted the selection process after 12 jurors and 3 alternates had been seated. 8 are men, 7 are women. Earlier today, prosecutors complained of a gender imbalance and said the defense was deliberately trying to keep young women off the panel. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty to raping a woman, sexually assaulting another.
Traffic and weather together next.
680 News Time, 2:39.
PC Optimum Points Days is coming. Our biggest, pointiest event ever. Last year, over 17 billion points were earned. But it's about to get pointier, honey. From January 23rd to the 26th, earn lots of points on grocery, beauty, gas, and more. Shop and earn at over 4,500 locations across the country, like your local No Frills. Get the app or register at pcoptimum.ca to get the best points offers of the year. Restrictions apply. Visit our website for a list of participating locations and complete PC Optimum Points Days details.
On city streets, emergency crews heading to a crash at Cosburn and Coxwell. Southbound Brock Road at the 401. The right lane is blocked with a collision. Delays both directions. City Streets was brought to you by the Stratford Festival. See the sensational new staging of the mega musical Chicago at the Stratford Festival. Great theater, gorgeous setting, and all that jazz.
The cost is $85 per child, so I'm not even
That's
telling you what
680
it
News
is.
gas price update. And pro predicting the price will increase a cent at midnight to an average of $1.15.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
75.
240.
It's nice to have a guarantee that your money will
They can't
grow
open up a
because your
community
kids are
center, but
guaranteed
all
to
the
grow.
city-owned things are
My
open.
shoes are too small.
$60
HSBC
per
Bank offers a GIC with a
$60
2.18% interest, so
for
you'll be ready for anything.
Mom, my shoes are too small.
$55.
Take a step towards financial wellness today. Get
Oh, everybody's fucking
2.18%
money.
per annum on a 218-day non-redeemable GIC for new deposits. For full details, visit
They want the
hsbc.ca/grow.
full $60 to probably
HSBC
just give them.
Bank. Together we thrive. Over 500,000 Canadians are currently living with Alzheimer's disease. How can you help? You can help by creating a team with friends, family, or coworkers and fundraising together for the 30th IG Wealth Management Walk for Memories in support of the Alzheimer's Society. On Saturday, February 1st, join the largest indoor walk in support of Alzheimer's disease in Toronto. Visit walk.alz.to for more information and to register. That's walk.alz.to. Together, we walk.
680 News Time 241.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover. Eastbound on the 401, we still have a couple of problems. Just east of Islington and the Express, the right lane is blocked. It's because of a collision and heavy backup from approaching the 427 and the Express, and it's a slow go from Kipling to the 400 and the Collectors. Then on the eastbound 401 ramp to Brock Road, at the end of that ramp, the right turn lane is blocked with a collision. So a very heavy drive taking the eastbound 401 ramp to Brock Road. Into the Durham region, though, eastbound 401 is slow from Westney to east of Salem. Now, you also find lane restrictions southbound on Brock Road at the 401, the right lane blocked with that collision investigation. Southbound on the 400, approaching Teston, a bit of a delay there. That's due to construction in the left lane. And then past that, the southbound 400 is slow approaching Shepherd onto the 401 ramps. Southbound on the 404, that's busy south of Finch onto the 401 ramps, but a pretty decent drive on the southbound DVP. Westbound on the Gardner, that's heavy from the DVP to west of Strawn, and delays on the westbound QEW from the 427 to west of Huron, Ontario. Busy again from Ford Drive to Trafalgar, but looks good westbound QEW as you head through Burlington. Northbound on the 427, that's getting busy from Dundas to Burnhamthorpe in the Express, and then slows again from Rexdale to Finch. Also, MTO reporting the westbound Rexdale ramp to the northbound 427 is shut down. It's all for emergency construction. Heading northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, delays are building from Baby Bloor to north of Lawrence, but not too bad on the northbound 404. Snow, slush, gravel, ice to the Jaguar F-Pace. Winter is just another opportunity to shine. Visit your local Jaguar authorized retailer for offers on the 2020 Jaguar F-Pace. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Plenty of sunshine, but it's a cold day for us today. The guaranteed high just -7. Will stay near -7 this evening, and then rising temperatures overnight. Snow begins around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, 10 to 15 centimeters for Toronto, most of the GTA, up to 20 for the North GTA, Newmarket and Uxbridge, and the temperature rises to +2 with a bit of rain Saturday night. For today, the guaranteed high, -7.
Makes the sun and cloud in downtown Toronto, -9. And Pearson feels like -16. 680 News Time 243.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute to the Business Center. Here's Carl Garnish.
Happy Friday, so Jana and James taking a look at Bay and Wall Street. We're looking at another round of record closing highs. Investors still cheering the easing trade tensions. They're liking the positive U.S. economic data we're seeing, so a lot of positives here. TSX could lock in a 5-day rally here, up by 73 points, 17,558. Stateside, the Dow could also finish higher for a 5th day in a row. It's up by 19 with the Nasdaq gaining 5 and the S&P up by 7. Gold was slightly higher for the week. It rose $9.80 today, finishing at $1,560. And we saw oil squeak up just 2 cents here, remaining around 58.54 a barrel. Canadian dollar, though, is down by 15/100ths of a cent to 76.53 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
Hi, it's Ivanka Osmak. Normally, I'm a sports anchor for Sportsnet, but today I'm spreading the news about Sleep Country's Aqua Gel Pillow. To be honest, I'd never even heard of a gel pillow before their sleep experts suggested I try it out, and I'm glad they did. The pillow is so comfortable. It's made with a water-based gel, so it's a super breathable alternative to memory foam that cradles your neck and keeps you cool. I've always been a little picky about my pillow, but that was totally embraced when I went to Sleep Country. Their sleep experts are sleep obsessed. It was amazing to see all the options they could recommend based on just a few things I told them about my sleeping habits. So really, no matter how you sleep, I'm sure they'll be able to recommend a great pillow to you. Plus, right now, when you buy one Aqua Gel pillow, you get a second Aqua Gel pillow free. Get matched to your perfect pillow at Sleep Country or order online at sleepcountry.ca today. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A few clouds in downtown Toronto, a wind chill reading of -11. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sljana Timincic.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
There is a move back in date. Residents displaced by that fire at 650 Parliament in 2018 can start moving back into the high-rise on March 2nd. A house fire in Malvern has sent a boy to hospital. The fire near Markham Road in McClellan has been knocked down, but crews are still on the scene for the investigation. And coming up after sports, the latest on the flu this year and why it's affected so many children.
Time now for 680 Sports.
From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's Alex Xero.
So, Jana, the Raptors have alternated wins and losses over their last 10, but a chance at back-to-back wins presents itself tonight when hosting Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. Norman Powell's been back in 2 games, and he's been terrific, shooting a combined 68%. Sportsnet 590 The Fan will have it at 7. Fred VanVleet is questionable. Well, Sheldon Keefe played him in all situations down with the Marlies, and Pierre Engvall says that was a huge help.
I built confidence, and I think I took that with me into when I came up with the Leafs. And I think obviously it helped that the knee got up and I went with the coach too. It helped me to feel comfortable and take that game with me with the Leafs.
And there is Engvall on Hockey Central. Leafs take on the Blackhawks tomorrow. Carolina's Dougie Hamilton, meanwhile, is going to be sidelined for a while after breaking his right fibula last night. Surgery could come as early as today. OHL action this evening. Mississauga Steelheads will be at home taking on Oshawa at 7. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 2:47.
Jenny Cooper, who's dead?
Death is her living.
I am just trying to put a picture together of how he died.
And she won't rest until she uncovers the truth.
You know, it is my mission as coroner to speak for the dead so that I can protect the living.
Don't miss the hit drama series, Coroner. New episode, Monday at 9 on CBC.
Some live to ski, others ski to live. Introducing Bluemont, Blue Mountain Chalet living on 60-foot executive lots. Steps from the mountain. A lifetime of memories awaits you and your family. Chalets from $890,000. For more information or directions to our sales office, visit Fremont.com.
This health report is brought to you by Cold Drops.
One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold Drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
A new experimental drug is aiming to help ease social interactions for those with autism. It's groundbreaking and has potential to redefine autism research. A new clinical trial is underway on a pill that can change everything. But not everyone is on board.
It's kind of a classic example of research that's being done about us without us.
I want two. I'll sell one.
The pill may be able to regulate a hormone in the brain connected to social functions, and the lead researcher at a Toronto hospital is hopeful that it can provide support to those differently abled.
We haven't been successful yet, and this is part of a larger set of research programs that tries to find solutions.
Tonight, how close is the pill to hitting the market, and why the community is divided over its use? For 680 News and City News, I'm Faisal.
You're not going to tell us
680
now?
News Time 249. Canada's chief public health officer says more children are being hospitalized this flu season. Experts say it's because of an early spike in a strain of influenza B, which hits young people especially hard. Dr. Teresa Tam says that strain is circulating across the country, while a strain of influenza A, which typically targets the elderly, is also making the rounds.
Right now we have influenza A, H3N2. Which is still predominating, but influenza A, another strain, H1N1, is escalating, and influenza B is early. So all of this is going on at the same time, which is certainly having impact on different communities and individuals.
Tam says the best defense is getting the flu shot, but only about 43% of people got it last year. 70% of seniors were vaccinated. Traffic and weather together next.
680 News Time 250.
OFX are global money transfer specialists, helping individuals and businesses move money in 55 currencies. OFX is on a mission to lead the age of borderless money by combining a streamlined digital experience, 24/7 human support, and competitive rates. Whether you are sending money to family abroad, paying for overseas purchases, or just want to hang on to more of your money as it travels around the world. Learn more at OFX.com or simply download the OFX app. It's how the world moves money.
When we work together, amazing things can happen. The Love You by Shoppers Drug Mart program works together with local charities to help advance women's health and provide support systems for women to feel their best. To date, we've raised over $66 million to support women's health initiatives in our communities. Join us in being a champion for women's health. Visit shoppersdrugmart.ca/loveyou to learn how you can participate. Because together, we're empowered. Together, we're healthier. Together, we're unstoppable.
680 News Time 251.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. A pair of problems affecting the eastbound 401. And just as I say that, the first issue is clearing. Eastbound 401 east of Islington and the Express. Looks like all lanes are now getting through. That collision just moved along. You're going to find it heavy, though, eastbound 401. As you travel through Mississauga, it's jammed from Winston Churchill over to Mavis. Then very heavy from south of Pearson and the Express over to this problem that just cleared east of Islington and the Express. And delays on the collectors from Kipling to the 400. Then eastbound 401 into the Durham region. On the ramp to Brock Road, at the end of that ramp, the right turn lane is blocked for a collision investigation. So very heavy taking that ramp eastbound 401 to Brock Road. And if you're continuing your journey eastbound 401 into the Durham region, it's slow from Westney to east of Salem. Eastbound on the 409, that's backed up approaching Martin Grove onto the 401 ramps. Westbound on the 401, heavy volume delays across the city, anywhere from the 404, alternately express and collectors at stop and go to Dixon. And then heading into Mississauga, it's jammed from just past the 410 and the collectors to west of Mavis. Ongoing construction southbound on the 400 approaching Teston. The left lane is closed. Traffic is pretty light, though, so only a minor delay. And then past that, southbound 400 is slow approaching Shepherd onto the 401 ramps. You'll find a busy drive southbound 404 from south of Finch onto the 401 ramps. And the westbound Gardner is slow from the DVP to west of Strawn. Northbound on the 427, the westbound Rexdale ramp to the northbound 427, that has just reopened. 407 ETR drivers say they save 20 to 60 minutes per trip. 407 ETR manages traffic for an excellent driving experience. Visit 407etr.com. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Sunny but cold today. Snow moves in tomorrow with rising temperatures. The guaranteed high today just -7. We'll stay near -7 this evening and then rising temperatures overnight. For tomorrow, we get into that snow beginning around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Lots of blowing snow with the gusty wind, 10 to 15 centimeters for Toronto, but more to the north. Rain may mix in around 6 o'clock Saturday night as the temperature rises to +2. And then for Sunday, mainly cloudy, windy flurries and falling temperatures. For today, the guaranteed high, just -7.
Next to sun and cloud in downtown Toronto, -9 at Pearson, but it feels like -16.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Urosec Cream and Lotion. Is winter weather irritating your skin? Urosec Cream and Lotion will provide temporary relief for rough, cracked, dry skin. Available at your local pharmacy. Visit the website at urosec.com. To be sure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label.
Coming up at 3, there is a move back in date finally for residents displaced by that fire at 650 Parliament. And we'll have the latest on a house fire in Malvern that's sent one boy to hospital.
680 News Time, 2:54.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and truck donations.
Extreme weather.
Essential information.
Anytime a storm hits the GTA, the 680 News Extreme Weather Center is activated with the latest road conditions, weather updates,
And whether school is open or closed.
When you need to know, the 680 News Extreme Weather Center has you covered.
Brought to you by Air Transat, Vacation is Calling, and Subaru, Confidence in Motion.
Exclusively on 680 News and 680news.com.
There's a chance you could be stuck indoors the rest of the weekend, so you should get out for some fun tonight. Here's our Colin Robertson with a look at what's happening in the GTA.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
The Cinesphere is showing Forrest Gump.
You never know what you're going to get.
Film rolls at 7:30. The Toronto Light Festival is happening in the Distillery District. It runs today from 6 to 10.
Here we go. This wine is a New World wine. This wine is from California. This wine is Central Coast. This wine is a Petite Syrah. This wine is from a high-quality producer, and it's 2008.
It's milk. And there's a walk-around vintage wine tasting at the Rock.
Oh, milk, of course.
Sips start at 7. Colin Robertson, 680 News.
Business is next. 680 News Time, 2:56.
Let me ask you something. Do you bank or do you Duca? Because if you bank, then you're putting your money to work for them, not you. But it's a different story at Duca Credit Union. With Duca, you're a member, not just a customer, which means you share in the profits. Try getting your bank to do that. With Duca, you also get the same financial services and a whole lot more. That's the Duca difference. Find out what Duca can do for you at Duca.com. Do more, be more, achieve more with Duca Credit Union.
It's been so long since I've been to a party, but the sitter's waiting. I can't drink like I used to, and I probably shouldn't drive. But I don't know anyone who can give me a ride. Maybe if I drive slow?
Safety concerns discourage women who have been drinking from taking a ride with someone they don't know. You leaving, Kate? My sister's picking me up. We could take you home. Drunk driving is a woman's issue, too. Learn how to reduce the risk at changetheconversation.ca.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Carl Garnish.
Well, Janet, there's a chance you might have seen her on Saturday Night Live, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Seinfeld, maybe you've seen her on Veep, but now she's coming to Apple TV+. According to reports, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is going to develop new projects exclusively for Apple's streaming service as both an executive producer and a star. And the tech giant has been busy with deals to start off the year. It brought in the former head of HBO earlier this month. Apple's up by 0.4%, $316.61. We've just over an hour left in the Friday session, and North American markets are once again eyeing record closing highs on Wall Street. Analysts say investors are cheering U.S. home construction, which showed it surging to 13-year highs in December, adding to a series of indicators this week suggesting the American economy is in good shape. The Dow can finish higher for a fifth day in a row. It's up by 26 points. Could be a three-day rally for the S&P and NASDAQ. S&P up by 7. Same goes for the NASDAQ. It's higher by 7 now as well. Could be a 5-day rally for the TSX, up by 84 points, 17,569. We're keeping an eye on lumber stocks. A number of analysts are saying Canadian production cutbacks and a consumer-driven recovery in housing starts in the U.S. could mean better times ahead for both lumber and panel products this year. At the top of the list on base, Interfor, it's up by 9.9%, $15.96. We got Norbord up by 7.6%, $39.78. Gold is up $9.80, finishing at $1,560. Oil up 2 cents, remaining around $58.54 a barrel. Canadian dollar down by 0.12 of a cent to 76.56 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish. How would winning the Lotto Max jackpot change your weekend of gardening? Let's ask Susan.
Forget measly gardens. I grow my own forest.
Okay, but Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $50 million, plus an estimated 2 Max Millions. As your dream coach, I say keep growing.
Ooh, with the waterfall, luxury tree houses for my friends, and instead of walking, we'll zip line everywhere.
Zipline dreams are my favorite. Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $50 million, plus an estimated 2 Max Millions. With draws Tuesdays and Fridays, you can dream to the max.
On January 18th, the Today Showstopper at TSC will be from IT Cosmetics, featuring It's Your New Year Blow Away 4-piece collection. You get the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, Bye Bye Pores Blush, Heavenly Luxe 2-in-1 Brush, plus the all-new Dry Bar Lash Blowout Mascara for lavishly thick eyelashes. Watch for it on January 18th when it's the Today Showstopper. Shop TSC.ca. Today's shopping choice.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Coy Brothers.
The Toro 38753 snowblower can clear an 8-car driveway.
And it's just $779.
Toro at Coy Brothers.
KOYBROS.com.
It's pretty cold across the region. Mississauga, partly cloudy and -8. Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, partly cloudy and -8. In Orangeville, partly cloudy and -10. Downtown Toronto right now, mainly clear with a wind chill reading of -11. 680 News Time, 3 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are James Monroe and Slijana Timinzik.
Good afternoon. It's Friday, January 17th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
They've been waiting almost a year and a half for this announcement. The date has been set for residents of 650 Parliament to come back home for good.
Breaking news from Scarborough. Boys were rushed to hospital after a fire broke out at a home near Markham Road in McLeod.
The new condo building Pharrell is helping design at Yonge and Eglinton will include affordable housing units.
It's not a community if you're not considering other people.
Grammy winner is in town talking about the project.
Raptors look to continue their dominance over the Washington Wizards tonight. Leafs appear to be eyeing a goaltender out of New York. Sports at 15.
Canopy Growth is holding off on rolling out its pot-infused beverages. Markets are eyeing fresh record closing highs. TSX up by 86 points, Dow up by 30. Business at 26.
680 News Time, 3:01.
Traffic and weather together with one scary Francis.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Eastbound on the 401, we had some earlier problems east of Islington and the Express, so it's still jammed. From south of Pearson to east of Islington and the Express, a delay from Kipling towards the 400 and the Collectors. And that problem eastbound 401 on the ramp to Brock Road has cleared away. It's still very heavy eastbound 401 on the ramp to Brock Road. And if you're taking the eastbound 401 into Durham region, expect delays from Westney to east of Salem. A heavy backup on the eastbound 409 from east of the 427 onto the 401 ramps. Traveling westbound on the 401, expect volume delays from the 404, alternately Express and Collectors to Dixon. Then it's heavy from west of the 410 and the Collectors to west of Mavis, also filling in from the 407 to Trafalgar Road. Northbound 400, that's getting busy from Rutherford to north of Major Mackenzie. It's a slow go up the northbound DVP from Baby Bloor to north of Lawrence. And watch out for some construction southbound on the 400. As you're approaching Teston, the left lane is closed, only a minor delay. Southbound 400, beyond that point, it's slow from Shepherd onto the 401 ramps. Taking a look at the eastbound QEW, a couple of slow spots, busy through Guelph line, again through third line. The eastbound Gardner is backed up from Jarvis to Cherry. Westbound Gardner is pretty jammed from the DVP to west of Strawn. And off the highways in Mississauga, traffic spotters say eastbound Burnham Thorpe, east of the 403 at Ridgeway, all lanes are blocked with a collision. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter most to you. Visit 407etr.com. And now with a look at the forecast. Hey, Natasha, well, I bet your kids are probably pretty happy about all this snow.
You know what? They're kind of bougie. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't know what bougie means, like, look it up. They're like, oh my gosh, this snow. No, like, it's really, really bad. I don't know where the value talk came from. But anyhow, here we go. I'm going to shove them outside in the snow tomorrow because I'll be working on 680 News covering this storm for you. It all starts in the morning as light, fluffy snow blowing around, and then we start warming through the day up to about -3 by the afternoon, and that's going to switch that over to the heavy, wet snow, so make a shoveling pass through the middle of the day if you can. 10 to 15 centimeters, but we will also mix in rain Saturday night as we continue to raise those temperatures, and then switching back over to snow again on Sunday. All right, that was a big mess, like what tomorrow's going to be. Tonight we are down to low -10 degrees. It is now -9 at Pearson.
680 News Time, 3:03.
Breaking news on the end of a long and painful ordeal for hundreds of families in downtown Toronto. Today, building management announced they're gearing up to start welcoming back displaced residents of fire-ravaged 650 Parliament.
6 Cities' Mark Douglas joins us live with the latest. Mark.
And Slojana, March 2nd is the date set for the start of the move back home process for 650 Parliament. Danny Roth, spokesperson for the landlord, Wellesley Parliament Square property, says all the permits will be in place and the building will be safe and clean.
People should see no difference other than the fact that they've got newly painted halls, and in some, not all, but most of the suites, there are some changes. There might be some new kitchen finishes or bathroom finishes, but really they're coming back to a very safe, secure home.
It's going to be a staggered move-in. Roth says they can't have roughly 1,500 people
I want to know how the
all at
electrical
once.
system
So, starting on March 2nd, it'll be 2 floors at a time, 1 week at a time, starting with residents from the top floor and moving down to ground level over the course of 11 weeks. Rent will be maintained at August 2018 prices. That's when a 6-alarm electrical fire forced everyone out. Live from 650 Parliament, I'm Mark Douglas.
Let them all move in on the same day.
A boy's been rushed to hospital after a fire broke out in a home near Markham Road in McLevin. Fire crews were called to the home on Mammoth Hall Trail around 1:30 and rescued the boy from the 2nd floor. His injuries are considered serious but not life-threatening. His age has not been released, and neither has the cause of the fire.
This is 6 City News. Canada will be providing financial support to families of victims of the plane that was shot down by the military in Iran. Here's 6 Cities Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney.
Calling it nothing short of a national tragedy, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announces his government will provide the families of victims payments of $25,000
to assist with their immediate needs, such as funeral arrangements and travel.
In addition to the 57 Canadian citizens killed, there were 29 permanent residents. Families will also receive legal assistance and further help with final arrangements for their loved ones. Trudeau still expects Iran to fully compensate families, adding the Iranian regime bears full responsibility for shooting down the plane. The government expects the remains of Canadian victims to start returning home in the coming days. Meanwhile, our Foreign Affairs Minister has met with his Iranian counterpart, stressing the need for a thorough investigation. Trudeau says there's also a push to send the black boxes of the plane to France for analysis.
That they be examined as rapidly as possible.
The Prime Minister says families and the nation want answers. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
6 City News Time 3:06. The one-day teacher strike set for public elementary schools here in Toronto and York Region is a go for Monday morning. The head of the union representing Ontario's public elementary school teachers says it will begin rotating strikes on Monday after the province failed to return to the bargaining table. ETFO will be holding a second walkout at 4 boards outside of the GTA on Tuesday. We'll hold a third rotating strike in 3 other boards in London and Northern Ontario on Wednesday. The education minister says he will continue to focus on reaching a deal and calls the walkouts unacceptable.
A longtime Toronto firefighter has now been charged after a truck they were driving hit an 11-year-old girl last month during a call. Here's 6 Cities Stuart McGinn.
The crash last month left the 11-year-old girl with serious injuries. It happened at a pedestrian crosswalk on Oakwood, just south of St. Clair. As she was walking home from school, the fire truck was rolling through the area with its sirens and lights going on its way to an emergency call.
She was treated at the scene by the Toronto Fire Services, and she was transported to hospital, and our latest information is that she is still recovering in hospital from her injuries.
That's Toronto Police spokesperson Megan Gray outlining what's new today, that the firefighter behind the wheel has been charged. He's facing 1 count of dangerous driving causing bodily harm and another charge for passing a stopped vehicle at a pedestrian crosswalk, but he remains now on active duty. While the girl's still in hospital, a statement from Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg wishes her a full and speedy recovery. I'm Stuart McGinn.
6 City News Time 3:08. He has 13 Grammy Awards and 2 Oscar nominations, but he's in Toronto to build condos. 6 Cities Moment Correction joins us with the latest on the Midtown real estate project headed up in part by Pharrell.
Pharrell Williams